Hey everyone, it's Doc from Bros and Dragons, and I wanted to tell you guys about an amazing company that we are proud to support throughout our whole corporation, and that is Wormwood. The quality and commitment this company has is amazing and supports all nerd endeavors. There is only one acceptable outcome for their craftsmen, a product that they can take personal pride in and absolutely satisfied customers. If you are unsatisfied with your product for any reason at all, they will fully refund or replace the item free of charge. They always guarantee their products. Whether you're looking to buy deck and card boxes, dice vaults, hero vaults, dice towers, personal or tabletop dice trays, or some other accessories such as card sleeves, dice, tile trackers, leather play mats, or more, this company is top of the line. They even do custom orders. They call the wood that they use Core 16, and I encourage you to go to their website for more information on this. So when you are in the market for tabletop or nerd gaming needs, think Wormwood first.
Before we get started, we would like to give a shout out to BattleBards. BattleBards.com has background ambiance, battle sounds, and much more. Bring your tabletop venture to life with BattleBards.com.
There are things in the night. Your nightmares will manifest into reality as they find their way into Doc's imagination.
The mind has many horrors.
We all can live in this place. Through our imaginations, we are free. And we read in its embrace. Sit back and relax as I take you out of your reality and into my nightmarish dream world. Welcome to the Bros and Dragons podcast. I'm your dungeon master and host, Daniel Doc Gentry, and our players are...
Kylie, I play Grogon the Smasher, a male half-orc fighter.
Keith Ross, I play Captain Martin Firewell, a human male barbarian.
John Sika, and I play Alissha Fargum, a female human rogue.
Tom Benson, I play Zandro, a male wood elf ranger.
Let us adventure on. What happened last time?
Last time we kind of diverted from our path and went another way, and we ended up rescuing the cleric from the quest that the drunk guy at the bar gave us.
Sheila Blandersmith.
Yeah, Sheila Blandersmith. But we didn't actually, because right at the end we were fighting someone, and she tackled her off of a tower.
So as you watch Sheila Blandersmith and Xana plummet to their deaths, it seems like time starts slowing down about 20 feet before they hit the ground. Give me a perception check.
Natural 20.
Plus
5.
12.
11.
18.
Alissha and Wind will see that they seem to be frozen in the air. Everybody else, it looks like they just hit the ground the way they are.
That's not right.
I'm just staring at this, trying to figure out what I'm looking at.
I'm going to try to go run down the stairs and see if I can get to their bodies to possibly stabilize them.
I'm going to start walking down the wall.
So how far off the ground are they hovering?
About 20 feet, so they're approximately 280 feet away from you.
Is there a window down there that I can get to?
You remember the bottom of the tower had stables that looked like they were, and you know from Sheila that they were using the pseudo-dragons to ride, the giant pseudo-dragons, so you could probably get to the stables. That's about 100 feet off the ground.
Let's do that.
Captain Firewell and Wind are going down the stairs.
I'll follow down the stairs.
Okay, and Alissha, you're going down the side. Alissha, during your run down the side, you will see two black figures come out of the tree line of the bottom of the gully, and you see them grab Sheila and lay her on the ground. They whisper something in her ear, grab Xana, and then they just disappear. Everybody else. So you get to the part of the third level where it goes outside. I know that Captain Firewell said he was going that way. Zandro, are you going that way?
Yeah, I'll follow the captain.
Okay. And you're going to go out to the right, down the cliff, into the valley, which is fine. It's going to take you a little bit. Woody, wind goes down another flight of stairs, and you go out the way that you know they fell, and you're looking over the edge outside the stable, and all you see is Sheila Blandersmith on the ground. If you were to look up at the noises you're hearing, you see Alissha running down, literally running down the side of this thing.
Okay, and you said about 100 feet off the ground?
Yep.
I jump over.
32 damage. Okay, so you'll take 7 hit points as Wind jumps out of the stable doors and lands on the ground, and he does a superhero landing.
It's terrible for the joints.
Terrible for the joints, but it looks awesome. It's totally worth it.
You'll be the first down there. Alissha will follow as Zandro and Captain Firewell, you come out and you see this field of dead bodies just laying there next to this tower. Some of them look more recent than others. The other side of the tower is where Sheila is. This is the side that Xana told everybody to look over to see what their fate would be if they didn't follow the Wind God.
I'm not interested in anything here right now. I need to get to Sheila.
Are they human or?
They look like the ones that are recent are like half of them are druid, half of them are feather gale knights. The skeletons are definitely humanoid.
Yeah, I mean, I'll follow the captain.
Back to Wind and Alissha. You are near Sheila. Nobody else is in sight. You don't know when they're going to make it down here.
I go to her side and make sure she's okay. I'm going to take her pulse and see if she's still breathing.
She is breathing and has a pulse. She doesn't seem to be bleeding from anywhere, but she is unconscious. She definitely didn't hit the ground. You can tell that by what you see here.
I am going to take my canteen and pour some water on her to try to wake her up.
It doesn't seem to work.
I'm going to try to roll a medicine to see if I know anything to try to wake her up. 18.
There's really no reason for her to be unconscious. Captain Firewell and Zandro will come around and you will see your compatriots over Sheila's body, and they look overly concerned, but you will notice there is no blood. It doesn't look like she hit the ground.
Well, she grabbed all of her stuff. Does she have any magic items on her, something that might be helpful in waking her up?
She has quite a bit of magic items, but as you look through her stuff, you don't see anything that you think would help you. Give me an insight check.
11.
She's not dead. She didn't hit the ground, and there really doesn't look like any reason she should be unconscious.
I think we need to possibly get her back to town.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I'll
slap her in the face.
You leave a handprint, but nothing else.
Is there any area of this tower that we haven't explored yet that maybe we should be checking out before we leave?
I think you went through the tower. I mean, there's a bunch of dead bodies. You got to go that way to get out of the valleys.
Is there any trees or anything like that I could use to make a
litter?
Yeah, litter.
Yes, there are. After about a half an hour or so, you get this litter together. It's got 2 handles with a crossbar.
I mean, we might as well 4-man it. No
Wait for
point.
us with the ride.
All right, Grogon will take a corner. You start heading back, and you see all these bodies just laying there. You gonna do anything?
Yeah, look, see if they got anything on them.
You go through these bodies, and you see lots of just normal weapons, a couple martial weapons, some standard armor, but you find 4 things in particular. On one of the druid bodies, you find a longbow that seems to have a sense of magical power on it. There's a staff that looks pretty peculiar. There's a sword, and you find a bag that seems to have 8 beans in it.
I'll pick up the sword if
I'll grab the bag.
Grab the bow.
I will take the staff then.
Okay. You grab Sheila after you got all this stuff. Oh, you find also about 1,000 gold. You begin your long trek back. It becomes very obvious that you're not going to be able to just a 4-man carry Sheila. So you start taking 2 on, 2 off shifts, just dragging this, which is way easier with the way you built this litter. Night is about to fall. You see the sun has gone down. You can hear some of the telltale signs of the night is approaching. Do you want to try to rest, or are you going to work through the night?
I definitely think we should set up camp.
Throughout the night, nothing happens. The longbow is a simple +2 longbow. You have found a sword of wounding. John, the bag.
Yes.
I think I'm going to need a roll for that because it's not a tuning, it's a knowledge. Intelligence check.
15.
You know something's up with it. It is a very intricate looking bag, and these beans are slightly unusual. Though they look like normal beans, you know something's up, but you can't pinpoint it.
I wouldn't eat them.
To a +2 staff. You make it through the night. Nothing happens.
The next morning, Zandro makes a nice meal, and you guys head off. It's slow going. Again, the 2-on, 2-off is the only way to do this, though, or everybody would get tired way quicker. And again, another night comes and falls while you're still in the woods. Do you want to try to push through to Rangio, or you want to try to make camp?
You know how close we are?
No, you feel like you should be there.
We should be pretty close.
I vote we push through.
Push through. Zandro, give me a perception check.
Perception would be 18.
You hear in the night a bird call. It doesn't sound right. And you know birds with antlers that will come and strike at anybody that they find, and you can hear them coming straight your way.
Everybody know, look out above. Did you hear that?
Do you think they've spotted us yet?
They're diving. They're coming straight for you. You can hear them coming through the wind. They are just about to strike. Roll initiative!
Oh, boy. Zandro's got 16.
I have 24.
I have 4.
5.
Wind. They're coming towards you. They are out of range and they are flying down, but they're flying at you. What do you do?
I draw an arrow and shoot. One of them is an 11, the other one's a 24.
One flies wide, but the second one strikes true on the middle one.
We're going to do 9 damage.
As the arrow strikes, you hear it cry out. The 3 make it down and they swoop down. The middle one coming for Wind. As it flies down, it tries to strike out at Wind.
Sadly.
For 8 piercing damage.
All right.
It then flies again. It hits for 8 more piercing damage as it flies by you. Hovering about 10 feet away from you, though, and it's within striking distance now. The second one will fly at Big Bad Captain Firewell, and the first flyby will miss, but as it turns around and comes back, it misses as well. The other one goes at Zandro. First talon will hit. 7 points of piercing damage. Second one will miss as the piercing damage makes you duck out of the way of the second one. Zandro, it is your turn. They were all within 10 feet of the people that I mentioned.
I guess I'm going to use my new shiny longbow. 15 and a 28.
Both of your arrows strike true on the one that dive bombed you. They both strike true in his chest, and it seems to be standing up, but blood is pouring from each of those wounds. That takes us to Captain Firewell.
Nat 20. 22 points of damage.
Nice.
And I wound him.
Alissha.
I'm just going to kind of stand my ground at this point. I'll let them deal with these birds.
For the round, Wind.
I got a 23, 28. My third hand-to-hand attack is 11.
As your second attack lands, you hear a crack in the beast's neck as it falls to the ground. Zandro, one comes to do a flyby attack. The first attack misses. You know it's coming back for the second, so you duck out of the way.
That one's working fine.
Captain Firewell. The first attack swipes by and misses. As you get a little bit cocky, though, it comes back around and it scrapes at you. 10 points of piercing damage.
At the start of its turn, though, it takes 3 necrotic damage from the wound, and I need a con save.
Okay. So natural 20, I think, is going to do it.
Oh, yeah. It is no longer wounded, but it still takes the 3 from that one.
That brings us to Zandro.
Yeah, that one that I just attacked or just tried to attack me. I'd
Sure.
like to shoot 2 arrows at. 13.
It hits.
11 points of damage.
And your strike true, it falls to the ground. Do you want to take your second shot at the other one?
Please.
Okay.
16. So that's 7 points of damage.
And Zandro takes out the one in front of him, turns around, and strikes at the other one that's flying around Captain Firewell. It screams out, but it's barely hanging there in flight, which brings us to Captain Firewell.
Let's try and finish it off. 15.
As your greatsword hits it, you slice it in half, and 2 parts of it falls to the ground as blood covers the ground below it.
And there was much rejoicing.
Yay. Rejoice.
Great job, guys.
So you start moving through. You see these footprints that have smashed the ground. It's starting to grow again, but it leads you towards your destination. As you see Rangio in the distance, you hear more of those birds screech in the background, but you make it to safety. As you start pulling into the town, Sheila sits straight up. She yells, "No! Xana!" She'll start saying, "The Watchers! The Watchers! The Watchers!" And she passes out again.
That was odd.
That was a little odd.
Who are the Watchers?
I'm assuming the captain, as well as probably Alissha, recalls the note that was passed to us.
Yes.
I'll kind of look over at Alissha and be, like, give a knowing I think we should head in and find a room for the night.
I'd have to agree with you there, Cap. Before we get an inn, should we find a way to try to wake her up or see if we can get her some medical help?
Maybe we could take her to her church.
There's an idea.
Well, we know she's all right because she just woke up straight out of dead sleep.
You take her to the shrine here, and she seems to be coming to a little bit. And Grogon says, Grogon, stay with Sheila. Help Sheila get better.
Sounds good.
And starts making tea.
I'll take a flask of tea for the road.
When they're done. But Sheila is semi-awake now.
I'll ask her what happened.
Xana was taken by the Watchers.
And I'll say who, and I look around. Is there anybody around?
Oh, there's a bunch of people around. This is an active shrine, and it's just early dawn.
Okay. I'll just ask, who are they?
They're an ancient group that used to just record history, but lately they've been using their time magic to get involved with things of this day and age. I've encountered them once when the orcs were busy getting together if they were going to accept their freedom in this land or not. They were kind of rambunctious at the time, so I went up there to try to use my influence to calm them down, and I ran into two of them that had frozen the Orc Council and were observing and talking about how things in motion were moving wrong and that people were in the wrong place at too early of a time. But Xana's brainwashed. If you come across her, please, she needs to be brought back alive to her friends so we can help her.
I'll try my best to do that. I won't make any promises, though.
She starts to get up, and she says, I need to find Martin Cromwell.
Who's that?
He's a paladin. He's wanted for crimes against the crown. I need to bring him in for questioning. There are some things that I need to find out.
Do you have any idea where he is?
I think that he might be south of and she passes out.
Every time.
We would end up with a narcoleptic.
Perhaps she'll be more talkative in the morning when she's had more rest.
Yeah, maybe. We should all probably get some sleep.
You head out towards the inn, and there is a blizzard going on. It's coming from the south. But you do make it to the inn, and you open it up, and it is a dirty, very rowdy inn. Lots of glass flying. It looks like people are fighting because they think it's funny. And a little halfling is there waiting for you. Oh, yes, good sirs. What can I do for you today? Oh, ma'am, I didn't see you back there.
We would like a room.
Yes, that'll be 2 silver apiece. If you need drinks, regular ale is about 2 copper apiece. The good ale is about 5 copper apiece, but we only have a limited supply of that. And if you need some food, we can get you a plate of food for about 3 copper.
What's so special about the good ale?
Oh, it comes from our friends the dwarves in the next land over. We only get a shipment once or twice a month. You eat. You see this jovial thing going on, and people are just having a great time. The fights aren't even real fights. They're people doing little punch battles with each other to see who stands up longer. A lot of great things are going on.
I speak to the captain, and I say, I'm surprised you're not getting involved in the revelry.
Yeah, well, I need to keep a clear head. Lots of punches to the head.
The night goes on. You guys retire back to your rooms. Start resting. Halfway through the night, though, I need perception checks. Zandro, you snap too. Somebody is unlocking your door.
I'll hit whoever's next to me. Draw an arrow for the door.
Wind, you just get hit, and you see Zandro grab his bow and his arrow. The door unlocks, and just for a second, nothing happens. 3 men run in, all 3 of them with great swords. Okay. Yes, you're awake, but you won't respond till next round, Alissha and Captain Firewell.
22.
22 hits.
And that would be 9 points of piercing.
First to react after that arrow will be Wind.
I'm going to initiate flurry of blows and try to nail a guy, one of the guys who's right in line with the door. So my staff shot is 21, and then the next 2 are 15 and a 17.
As you're punching, you're being deflected off of plate armor as you hit, so you're hearing the ring of it.
Okay, well I have 2 more, and one of them is going to be 25, the other one's going to be a 22.
You realize that you're hitting something hard. You pick up the pace on your strength and put a little bit more behind it.
All right. Well, the first one is 9 damage, and then the next 2 is going to be 6 and 11. And the guy I'm attacking has to do save against a 13.
I met it, 13, so he does not go anywhere. Captain Firewell.
Okay.
All right, I am out of bed with my great sword in hand and going into a rage, and I will attack the first one that came through the door. 18.
You feel that you barely make it past the armor, and you feel skin as you strike with your greatsword, I'm guessing?
Yep, 14 points of damage, and he's wounded.
Okay.
Second attack, 22, 13 points of damage.
That takes us to Zandro.
So how many guys are in this room? How big is this room?
4. It's not very big, so you guys are almost 1-to-1 hand combat there.
I'll just use a hand axe and hope for the best. A 13 to hit.
It deflects off of his armor as sparks fly.
Is there any way to move?
You nimbly jump to the other side on the edge of the bed since you're an elf. Just give me a dex save to see if you stand on the edge of the bed.
That would be a 24.
Oh, yeah. Very nimbly, you're on the bed. You do have your bow, and you grabbed your quiver. In the jump, you put your quiver on and have your bow ready. So next round, you'll be able to fire. You'll be more than 5 feet from everybody unless somebody makes it to you. And it will be their turn. Captain Firewell. 14 slashing damage. He swings out again, and this one misses as you're ready for it. Yes, and can you roll 2d4 for me?
3 points of damage, and give me a con save.
6.
He fails. He is still wounded.
The second one that wasn't struck will come up. Notice your great sword won it, and he crits. 24 slashing damage, and then he's going to strike again, and that one will miss. Win, the one in front of you, doesn't like you very much.
I don't like him.
The first one's going to miss. He turns
Right.
his sword around again and comes by another pass and misses. The other one's going to run up, thinking they got a drop on Alissha. It hits the bed frame, but he seems to be able to pull his sword loose, and he's not going to be able to take another attack. But it will be Alicia's turn.
So that one that decided to try to swing on me and miss. Ooh, nat 20 on him. 15. I rolled 2d4.
All right, 37. He is not looking good. And give me a roll for your other dagger.
12.
And the other dagger will chink off of the armor. Top of the order, Wind.
Well, I'm just going to do the same thing. Well, my staff hits with a 19. 9 damage with that. I will kick him in the face. Ooh, with a 25.
Oh, you kick him right in the face.
That would be a 9 damage, and I do a just absolutely disgustingly cool kick and swirl around with my other foot and do it again. So that will be another 9.
You hit him in the side with your staff. You feel that you actually connect between the armor. You hear the
Nice.
oomph as you kick him in the face. Blood starts dropping from his nose as you come around to kick him again.
Is normally the knockback attack. Since he can't save, I knock him into one of the other guys to knock him down.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're trying to kick him into somebody else?
To do a knockdown.
Yeah, I just have one question on that. So pick right or left. You go to try to kick him right. He bounces off the wall, comes back, and I need a dexterity save from Captain Firewell as he falls into your feet.
It's a nat 20. I can look up the...
No, that's good. That's nice. Yeah, you dodge out of the way and just give a look over at Wind.
The
Well-
fuck?
That does bring us to Captain Firewell.
I want to move out of the room so that I'm just outside the doorway and only one of them can get to me at one time.
Okay, so as you move past, they both get an attack of 18 plus 5 is 21. 13 points of damage. The other one, as the first one strikes you, you take the blow, but you feel it, so you move your body just enough so that the second one clears you, and you are in the hallway.
First attack would be 14 to hit.
It goes off of his armor and creates pretty sparks.
18. 15 points of damage,
Holy
and he's
shit.
wounded as well.
Zandro.
Try and shoot at the one by Alissha.
Okay.
26. That sucked. 8 points of damage.
Oh, okay.
19. It's 10 points of damage.
As the arrow strikes him in the throat, you can hear a gurgling sound as he falls to the ground.
Nice.
2d4, or you want to roll 1d4 for both?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, go ahead.
2 points of damage.
Okay. The first one will swing at Captain Firewell. The first strike will miss as he turns around with it. 17 hits.
for 13 points of slashing damage. Wind, 21, which I'm sure hits, for 6 slashing damage.
Ouch.
And as the second one comes by, he totally whiffs. That takes us to Alissha.
I am going to leap from the bed. Do I need to do a dex roll first or an acrobatics roll first?
No, I'll let you have
Jumping.
it. You don't have any armor on, so it's easier.
18. For 24 points of piercing damage.
As you stab at the base of his neck and pull it out, it's like 2 waterfalls going off at the same time of blood going down the armor as he falls to the ground. That takes us to the top of the order. Wind. All of them are down except for the one with Captain Firewell in the hall.
So I'm going to back up the captain. Not using Flurry of Blows this time. 22, 12 damage. Okay, natural 20. 17. I don't imagine that 13 is good enough.
No, that one bounces off of his armor as he's reeling from the first blow. Captain Firewell.
That's a nat 1.
High or low?
Go with low.
Your greatsword gets stuck in the doorway. You lose your second attack this round. But that takes us to Zandro.
Put 2 arrows in his back. 27.
As the arrow comes through the front, you get a splash, Captain Firewell, of blood on your face as the guy falls to the ground as a sack of potatoes right there in the hallway. People run up. What's going on? We hear some kind of commotion up here. And you're standing around these dead bodies.
They attacked us.
They woke me from my beauty rest. You never wake a woman from their beauty rest.
In the distance, you hear a door slam and a man's voice. What's going on here? And everybody's like, upstairs.
Do I recognize the voice?
As the guy comes upstairs, you're staring at the guard who took you to the magistrate the first time, and he goes, oh, you guys again?
Hey, they woke me from my rest. I can't be held responsible when they come in and try to wake me from my rest.
What happened here? They look in the room. Obviously, they see the stuff, and the innkeeper definitely is like, no, they rented the room. They were in there for the night. We know, because we were partying down here, and they weren't part of it. And we don't know where the other guys came from. And they're like, all right. Well, none of these look like they were beheaded like the other one before. So, well, I guess it's your end, man. You clean it up. And he just leaves.
Okay. I'll actually tell the guy that we'll clean it up. I'm gonna pull the guy that I killed into the room and shut the door, and I want to try and move one of the beds up against the door.
I'd like to check at least one of these bodies, see if there's anything that can tell us who they are or what he's got on them.
On the armor of all of them, they have the symbol that you saw at the tower. It must be the Feather Gale Knight symbol.
I'm checking the body that went by my bed, or that died by my bed.
Each of them is going to have a greatsword. Each of them is going to have a heavy crossbow and 20 bolt, and each of them wears plate armor. One will have 6 gold, one will have 5 gold, one is cheap and has 1 gold and 3 gold.
Once everybody's inside, I'm closing the door and pushing my bed up against it and laying back down.
All right. So you go to sleep and everybody gets a full night rest. The 2 elves, after 4 hours, you wake up and you sit in your bed and look at the sight, and you see 4 naked dead bodies and Alissha and Captain Firewell sleeping.
Wonderful, naked humans.
Well, shouldn't they have some kind of clothing on underneath their plate armor?
It's hot under there.
We should call the people that. We should call the service that comes and gets these things.
I don't know if room service picks up dead bodies.
No, but they come out every Thursday.
Now the humans are awake.
I'll start grabbing bodies and carting them off to the dumpster.
Looks around. So that wasn't a dream then.
Take them back and put them in the dumpster, and a little kid comes by, a little 7-year-old girl, and just tugs on your shirt.
Yeah.
The dead bodies go to the temple, not the dumpster.
No, these are bad people.
Mm-hmm.
They don't deserve to go to the temple.
This is gross.
A little bit.
It starts snowing again. There's already 1.5 feet of snow. Now it's snowing some more.
Now that that's all done, I want to go back to the temple and check on Sheila.
Sheila is being cared for. They tell you that it was a pretty strong magic that got her, and that they have induced sleep so that she could get better.
Well, Cap, what is the next course of action?
Can I do an insight or history or something like that to try and figure out the city that she might have been talking about where Martin Firewell was?
Sure, go ahead. By the way, the snow has stopped and a torrential rainpour is now going on as black clouds come from the south and douse the city in heavy rain.
Do I know of a city that's directly south of us? Something along those lines?
So there's a bunch of cities south of you. The closest would probably be either the capital or Crystaldale, but there's like a straight line of cities going south of that.
I don't know. We could head back to Demathos and talk to the queen, see if she has any updated info on where the great evil, the old one, whatever you want to call it, was coming from.
Did you find all 3 items?
No, we have 2 of the
we
3.
have 2 out of 3, but we don't know where the third one might be.
We still need the Staff of Attunement.
Other than that, the last thing we were sent to do by the queen was to clear out the evil cave, which we did.
And then act normally.
What?
And then she told you to act normal.
Right. Which normal for us is...
I don't think we've been doing that since we all met each other.
Right. I don't know. I say we head back to the capital. We haven't explored Crystaldale very much. The last time we went there, we were interrupted. And then we've never been south of Demathos or Crystaldale.
Well, maybe we should go check out Crystaldale then.
That sounds good to me. We can check out Demathos while we're there, talk to the queen, see if she has any guidance for us, I guess.
All right, do you head out?
And we could also tell her about Sheila. I got enough. I know that much. I'm gonna buy a horse and cart. All right, yeah, I'll buy 2 draft horses and a cart or wagon.
You pack all your shit in it. You get all your buddies under the wagon. You snap the horses. Give me an animal handling.
16.
Okay, and they take off and you head down the road. So give me 2 more animal handlings for the whole trip.
Oh boy.
20 not natural.
Okay.
And a 9.
As you're getting close to the Demathos, they take off way faster than you want them to be. You're trying to slow them down. It doesn't seem to work, but the guards know what to do. Come forward with their pikes swinging their other hand, and your horses stop. They grab the horses and go, "Is everybody okay?"
I did not mean to do that. I'm sorry. There was something in the road.
There's a driver's ed course here for 45 days and 100 gold. You can become proficient in land vehicles.
I don't have that kind of time.
Oh, I think you do have that kind of time if you're going to be driving us around.
Right?
How long's that course?
45 days.
45 days.
We ain't got that kind of time.
That's what I just said.
Night is coming.
What do you mean we ain't got that kind of time? We've been roaming around for the last 5 days, not doing a thing.
Can I get like a crash course and pay a little more?
I see what you did there, sir. You're going to have to take it up with the driver's ed emporium in the middle of town.
Okay.
But I suggest you get off and walk your horses through town, please.
Yeah, I'll do that. Kind of shamefaced, like.
I need perception rolls from, Captain Firewell is the only one outside the wagon, so 15. Right in front of you during this rainfall, you see exactly above Demathos, the clouds part, and it becomes a sunny day. And all through the sky, the clouds dissipate, but it seems to be centered here on Demathos.
I'll lead the horses wagon to the stables.
You are now free in the town right now.
And I'll relay the info of what I saw as far as the storm being centered on Demathos.
Do you think this is connected to that weird weather we just experienced back in the town?
Oddly enough, I think so.
That's what I would think.
And the sun goes down. It is evening. People are in the streets. Seems to be a little party going on here. Nothing major.
Is the driver's ed place open?
It is closed for now. People seem to be wearing costumes and masks, and you know that this is the Night of the Dead.
How late is it? Is it just now getting dark?
It just started getting dark, so it's about 9, but you know this is an all-night party. There's nothing wrong with staying up all night and partying.
I want to head to the palace.
You head towards the palace, and it's closed. There are 2 guards there. Captain Firewell, we recognize you anywhere now. I heard there was a bounty on you up north. Something about some guy that got killed in a tavern?
Oh, yeah. That was an interesting night. We didn't do it.
Sounds like a good time. Wink, wink.
No, we really didn't do it.
Well, then you have perfect timing, because if you feel bad about that or any other deaths, this is the night to atone of it. It is the Night of the Dead. Everybody will be heading to the graveyard to party hard until about 11 o'clock normally, or before the moon gets to the equinox, and then everybody will go back to their houses, because of course it's just bad luck to be in a graveyard at midnight.
I'm sorry, did you say beheading? I told you we didn't do it.
Hey, I hold no grudges here. You're free walking around, and that's a little bit out of our jurisdiction.
True. Could you tell Queen Rebecca or send a message to her that we are in town and would like to have an audience with her?
She will be at the festivities tonight.
Oh, well, in that case, yeah, I'll head off toward the graveyard that he mentioned.
Wind, you know that in the middle of the graveyard, you've heard of this Temple of Jundar, which has been magically recreated. Though it's not finished, I think the last time we made that your god.
Right.
Anybody else not want to participate in this awesome Halloween-y party where everybody's going to eat junk food, get drunk off their asses near a graveyard?
I ain't got anything better to do. It's either that or get in a cart with the captain, and he's not very good at driving that.
I'm more concerned about Zandro. Your people do celebrate the Day of the Dead. This is a high holy holiday, though it is not a drunk fest where you come from.
I'll kind of stand back and watch.
You go and you see these festivities, and they're amazing. And in the middle of the graveyard area, you hear, hold on, gather around. Queen Rebecca would love to speak. And you get up there. This woman must love this holiday because she is in a full-on costume that is just amazing. She's cosplaying 101 here. And she gives her little speech. Tonight is a night that we celebrate our loved ones, friends that have passed, and honor the dead. And we do it through somber celebration. I know some of you already are going a little overboard, and you hear your, yeah, we are. And she's like, settle down. Just keep in mind that this is a night of remembrance as well as celebration. So please be safe and enjoy the festivities. A giant round of applause comes for your queen as she gets off of the stage and everybody goes back to their celebration.
So no drinking and driving then.
We've already seen that somebody can't drive. Let's not worry about drinking and driving right this bit.
Can I try to move through the crowd and approach her?
Sure, you do find her. She has her guards around her. She seems to be talking to one of them, but she's smiling and has a drink, and she sees you. Oh, Captain Firewell, how comes your vast adventures through my land, which I've already heard a few things and I'm very disappointed about?
As I told the guard before, we did not kill that man. However, I do have some good news. I managed to find someone you may know. Her name is Sheila.
She stops, wide-eyed, looking at you with the cup in her hand and goes, What about Xana?
I'll kind of look around and just kind of lean in and say it kind of quietly but loud enough for her to hear. It seems she's been brainwashed and is taken by the Watchers.
Oh my. Okay. I guess this isn't the time or place. We can talk about this tomorrow. Let us have these festivities. Let the people have this night. In fact, why don't you enjoy this night as well? Because not too many happy times actually come apart.
Very well. I would also very quickly like to also tell you that Sheila is being treated in Rangio. She spoke of a Martin Firewell.
Yes, that was, I believe, the Temple of Justice wanted her to hunt down this apparent leader of the Paladins. I have very little info, but yes, we did receive word today by messenger. I'm glad it was you that found her, though. It seems more fitting that some of the newer heroes would find one of my oldest friends and champions.
Oh, we're glad to be of service. And I'll kind of bow and turn.
And you go back to the celebrations, and it's a wonderful night. There's games, there's parties, people are drinking and having a good time. There are people doing somber events. In fact, Zandro, you're not as offended by this because you notice this is just one group of people's way of honoring the dead and dealing with some of the loss that they had. And as always, just before the moon is at its pinnacle, you notice, people dissipating, putting things away. And everybody give me a perception check.
11.
13.
19 for Alissha.
14.
Okay, Alissha, you see some movement in one of the crypts in the middle of the graveyard. It doesn't look right, and you know that people usually don't go to the crypts in the middle of the night.
Hey, something weird going on over there. Did anybody else see that?
I didn't see anything, no.
There's somebody messing around near the crypt, and I don't know, this late at night, normally they wouldn't be anywhere near that.
Well, let's go check it out.
Yeah, we should investigate this. People people are being disrespectful.
You head toward a part of the graveyard, and as you come around the corner,
Can we sneak?
you are sneaky, but you will see a crypt with a more broken down area than most. In the middle of this area, about 50 feet in front of you, you see 3 people that by closer examination look like they're snakes, and one of them is holding a sphere in one hand and a staff in the other, and though you don't speak their language, it sounds like they're doing some kind of incantation. And right when they finish, the sky opens up and it begins to thunderstorm above you, and we'll find out what happens next time on the Bros and Dragons podcast.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Boy.
Just keep following us on Instagram. I manage that. You can also follow me on Twitter at Shuwu13. I really don't post there much. I need to get back into doing that again.
Follow me at Bros Old Guy on Twitter. I post now and then. But you can also check out Streaming Down Handy on Thursday nights at 8 Central Standard Time, live on Twitch.
That'll be twitch.tv/Bros and Dragons. And we're past the boring racism classes, so I love to see what you got in store for next time.
You can follow me on Twitter at ElmoTheSurfer, and it would also be very helpful if you guys could go to our Patreon, which is patreon.com/Bros and Dragons. Seriously, anything, it helps. It makes a whole lot of difference as far as what we can do.
Our very last time of having Woody with us, thank you very much for coming out and finishing this roundabout. We will talk maybe about you finishing the battle with us. How about that? And
That would be fun.
you got anything you want to say on your way out?
Yeah, well, check out my comics at conwaytheseries.com. Doing a little bit of reconstruction at the moment because I just lost everything with the hard drive crash. But the comics are still being updated and available. And I also, I guess I'll show off this sucker here. I just have a Facebook page for wooden portraits. It's Woody Burns Wood on Facebook.
Oh yeah, and they're amazing. I'm glad you're showing that on a podcast.
Yeah, Cyber Symbiosis.
Can you spell that for everybody?
CYBERSYNBIOSIS.
I just want to know if you can spell it.
I can't spell it.
As always, you can find me on Twitter or Facebook at IamDMDoc. You can follow us all on Twitter at Bros and Dragons. Please follow us. Please go to Patreon. Every dollar will count. We can get a lot of content out. Things are moving and bustling. We are putting out more podcasts. We are having more content. We have more people that are helping on Twitch. Half of our donations always go to charity. The other half will be going towards doing what we do. As always, I'd like to tell you to keep it nerdy and live your dream.
Later.
Elmo loves you.
Anybody have to spell magic?
I have to spell life.
Don't think that's going to help us here.
Well, you're asking good questions, so hold on.
Okay.
God!
God!
There are things in the night that hunt and fish. Some of them think humanoids are delish. I wouldn't put anything past me, but that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah. Can the captain get it? No, never mind. That's a Crondo thing. Never mind. Get to me at one time.
Okay, so as you move past, they'll both get an attack of opportunity?
No. The eagle, the primal path, while raging and aren't wearing heavy armor, other creatures have disadvantage on opportunity attack rolls against me.
That doesn't mean they don't do it.
That's what I meant.
So nobody cares when there's dead bodies everywhere?
This is not the most unusual thing that's been happening in this area lately.
I guess so.
So if you do the math for one of them, you'll have -4.
Yeah, I've got it.
All right.
Well, yeah, all you really need to do is do it for one
Carry
person.
the 1 divided by 2.
What's your social security number?
6.
And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Do, 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 do.
Wow.
You want a camel, a donkey, a mule, an elephant, a
Can I get an
draft
elephant?
horse,
Can
a
I get an elephant?
There's no elephants here. A draft horse, a riding horse. You want a mastiff, or pony, or a war horse?
Are mastiffs large enough to ride in your world?
If you're a halfling.
There are several ways to raise money for a good cause. Some do it by running marathons. Some host high-dollar dinners. And some just do it by clever interneting. We here at the Watch Your Mouth podcast employ a different approach. Wall-to-wall, filthy fucking language.
Go to a grocery store, I'm like, I know exactly what I need. I get in there, I'm like, yeah, the f*** did I even come here for?
With our charity swear jar, every fucked up utterance from our unfettered gobs is a dime in the right direction.
The motherfucker's a mouth breather.
Gaming, movies, life musings, it's all here. Served on a bed of fucks and garnished with a crown of...
Shut the f*** up! How the f*** did we get here?
Fuck all that. Goddamn.
A jelly bean.
So if you want to hear us do good things with bad words, check out the Watch Your Mouth podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, Facebook, or online at wympodcast.com. And remember, swearing is caring, so watch your mouth.
This has been a Bros and Dragons production.